Every time I ask somebody that, a has-been fan, why you used to watch boxing, I get the, I want boxing to return to the glory days, where are all the Mike Tysons? Remember when Mike Tyson was fighting and he was knocking everybody out? And when Muhammad Ali, you know, was just dismantling opponents on technicalities and super freakish athleticism from a man that was a heavyweight. Remember all the days, the golden era age when Sugar Ray and then Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearns, and all those guys were in the mix fighting each other. You know, remember all that? I want boxing to return to them days. Right now, boxing's ass. We don't have nobody like that. We don't have nobody that's hungry like those guys, that hit as hard as those guys, that endures as much as those guys, and that are willing to face each other. Fast forward. Why isn't Deontay Wilder getting a lot of attention? I mean, he's doing the same shit Mike Tyson was doing. He's knocking out C-class opponents. A while back, I had made a video questioning Mike Tyson's career. Some people didn't like that too much, but I just speak the truth. I'm just being real with you. Mike Tyson knocked out a lot of bums. The big difference between Mike Tyson and Deontay Wilder right now is that he doesn't have the media press coverage following his ass everywhere like Tyson did. Makes sense. Tyson was from Brownsville, New York. Tyson was from New York, which is a mega media capital, as opposed to Deontay Wilder, who's from fucking Alabama, one of the most racist states. Big difference, the geography. I mean, and on top of that, Tyson fought like every fucking week. He fought like every month. He was knocking out bums, but he was doing it like every month. And boxing's designed different now. Even though Deontay Wilder could fight, I'm sure if he wanted to, he could fight 5-6 times a year, at least. But boxing's designed different sometimes. The fighters just don't fight as often as they did, and that's not because they don't want to. It's just the sport has evolved, man. Some fighters do, but overall the sport has evolved. Once you make it to HBO and Showtime, let's be honest, how many guys fight 5-6 times a year? You're lucky if you can get 3 fights maximum. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. Once you get to fighting on these networks, you don't fight as often as you did. Even, a lot of times you can fight way more often when you're still on, Friday Night Fights or Showbox or some shit like that. But once you get to HBO Championship Boxing, HBO After Dark, Showtime Championship Boxing, you can only fight so much. You're probably lucky if you can get 3 fights in 1 year, man. That's the reality of it. So I don't blame Deontay Wilder for that. That's just the sport, the evolution of the sport. That's what it is, man. As far as boxing not having talent nowadays and boxing being supposedly dead, it's a bunch of bullshit. As the sport has evolved, so is the fighters. Boxing has the most talent that it's ever had, and I believe that within my heart. And I don't give a fuck who disagree with me. And I know the old school fans will. I don't care. For every guy you point out, we got a guy too that can beat him. There's a guy that can beat Ali in the heavyweight division, whether it's the Klitschko's or somebody else. Deal with it. There's a guy that could beat Roberto Duran. You know what I mean? Like, who's to say Triple G can't handle Roberto Duran? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not like, these are matchups I'm looking at and I'm just saying guaranteed, but I'm just saying, like, we got guys that can fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Sugar Ray Leonard get taken out by Mayweather easily, I think. And that's a matchup I'm damn near sure of. You know what I'm saying? Like, but people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Deontay Wilder's doing the same shit Mike Tyson did. Every time Tyson stepped up to elite level opposition, he got beat. He should have never lost to Buster Rhymes, but he got beat. I said Buster Rhymes. Buster Douglas, excuse me. He should have never definitely should lose to Buster Rhymes, but he should have never lost to Buster Douglas. Well, I mean, he stepped up to Lennox Lewis, he got that ass whooped. He stepped up to Holyfield, he had to resort to different tactics. He got that ass whooped. You know what I mean? Like, every time he stepped up, he never... Tyson was only but so good. He's overrated. And I'm not knocking Tyson. He was a very exciting fighter. And I thought when he was with Costamato, he was very disciplined. And I felt if Costamato had kept him longer, obviously, and before Tyson got involved with hookers in jail and all this shit, he was a very much more disciplined fighter. You know, I like Tyson a lot, and I felt he could have got more top wins even with the discipline. But I mean, the fact is he didn't. You know, and when he stepped up to elite level opposition, he got beat. You know, how good was Tyson? A lot of the guys he knocked out were C class fighters, maybe B level at best. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyson knocked out a lot of bums. People don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. And Deontay Wilder, you could say, is knocking out bums. Well, he's doing the same shit Tyson's doing, but he don't have media coverage up his ass. That's the only difference. All right, and he's not fighting as often, like I said. So this whole old school, new school thing, man. Till I collapse, I'm gonna continue saying it. You know, boxing ain't dead. Boxing has evolved. It sucks. I know Golden Boy doesn't face top ranked fighters. You know, but that's not the fighter's fault. That's the sport's fault itself. You know, that's the politics behind it. The politics is what makes boxing suck. It's not the fighters because, like, I'll say it again. There's a fighter from this current generation right now somewhere. If we haven't even heard of him, maybe they haven't made it to HBO Showtime yet. But there's a fighter somewhere in this current generation that can beat, at least in one fight on one given night, can beat any one of the legends from the past. And if we haven't seen him yet, then he's coming up soon. Because there's fighters all over. Boxing's worldwide. So, you know, that's just a hardcore fact that people, you know, are going to disagree with, don't want to debate with, and going to hate me for it. But you know what? That's my fucking opinion. And, on to Herrera Garcia, man. I had Herrera winning this fight by at least 3-4 points comfortably. I only seen the fight once, obviously. You know, Danny, I love you, man. Garcia represents Philly. You know, he's got the heart of a warrior, but he lost his fight tonight. He knows it. His dad knows it. And Puerto Rico knows it. And any real boxing fan knows it. And them judges probably know it too. All three of them. But, I mean, the fight's in Puerto Rico. Danny got a gift decision tonight. It's okay. Everybody gets a gift decision, right? Mayweather got one against Castillo. And, everybody gets a gift decision. Everybody gets a gift decision. Every fighter gets a gift decision. You know. That's just what popped up in my mind right now. But there's a lot of other ones you could say too. You know, like how Brandon Rios got a gift decision against Richard Abreu. You know, everybody gets gift decisions. It always happens. You know, some people may say Bradley got a gift decision against Pacquiao. You know, I felt Bradley won by a point, but you know. The point is, every fighter gets a gift decision, man. And, I felt Danny lost tonight. Herrera's a tricky fighter. I didn't make a prediction vid, but my prediction I actually would have been for Herrera to win, in all honesty. I thought this matchup stylistically was very bad for Danny Garcia. I thought it could have been close. It was going to be close. And you can, I got to watch the fight again. It might be closer than that, but I felt Herrera was going to pull it out because I felt he's a very good boxer. He's good defensively. He's a very good thinking fighter, intelligent fighter, and I just felt Danny. This is actually almost damn near pure boxer he's facing. You know, the best boxer I don't know pure, but the best boxer he's facing is Herrera, and this guy beat Ruslan Provatnikov. That says a lot too. So you know he's been in there with some tough opponents, and you know he did great. He made Danny look totally discombobulated tonight. You know, Danny, you could see he tried to tough it out and all that, but he knows he was in there with something different. And for everybody that was wondering about Danny Garcia versus Floyd Mayweather, man, no hating. Danny's my man, but, you know what I mean? Come on, man. That fight's a joke. That fight is a fucking joke. You know, tonight is just a glimpse of how much of a joke Danny Garcia versus Floyd Mayweather is. So please stop it with the Danny Garcia versus Floyd Mayweather sweepstakes. We don't want to hear that shit. I'd rather probably see Canelo fight a couple more fights and try to get that last Mayweather fight in a rematch. Because Canelo's a guy that's actually improving and can box. So, you know, that's just real talk right there. Good night of boxing tonight. Malik Scott, I felt he could have got up. Dude went into the ring fighting scared. You know, and that's just my opinion. Slyways 100, man. I'm out.